gentlemen and ladies and compatriots. Welcome to Look Around Florida. We have great guests tonight. It's a dual guest. We have our Florida Division Commander, Calvin Hart, and our Florida Division Adjutant, Rick Roberts, on the show tonight. I just want to take a minute to say, guys, if you're in the path of the hurricane, please be safe. After the hurricane, please reach out to your camp commanders and let them know you're okay. So, if you're in my brigade, I have an idea. Everybody in my brigade is safe and sound. Uh, you know, it, that goes for everybody in the Southwest region. Just make sure you communicate with your camp commanders. Let them know after the storm that you are okay, so we don't have to worry about you. All right. With that being said, uh, nobody's on yet, so it takes a little while. Let me put this disclaimer out because some of you know my mouth. Anything and anything can fly out of it. So that's why there's a disclaimer, so I don't get in trouble. Hey, Carmen, how you doing tonight, buddy? Yes, we're having a hurricane party right here on Facebook. We even got our division commander and our division adjutant, Calvin Hart, and Rick Roberts on tonight. So, with that being said, let's bring them on and go live with them. Hey, Victor. Rick and Calvin, you are live, sirs.
Hey, Sean. How's it look, buddy? We got a good picture for you?
As far as I could tell, guys in the chat, do they look good on your screen?
Now we got it. We got our security guys. They got it up over there. Perimeter
Okay.
guys got it. All right. Sean, I appreciate you inviting us on to your podcast. We're filming now live in the Kirby Smith 1209 Armory, pretty much sitting amongst all the Kirby Smith stuff. I'd like to say, the hurricanes no laughing matter. You guys from Florida, we've endured it before. So if you've lived in Florida, you got a history with us, so you know what we're up against. So hopefully everybody be safe, stay safe. Tonight, Sean, I like to take the opportunity to talk about a couple of things. One, the Florida Division is concentrating on recruitment. One of the programs going right now, the Kirby Smith 1209 worked with the Tennessee Division and came up with a radio ad. I think the Tennessee Division and the Georgia Division had used radio ads before to some success, and we wanted to pursue that. I've asked National several times about a radio ad, and I just got smoke and mirrors from National on that. They never sent me quite anything, so we took the bull by the horns. The Tennessee Division had a ad that we liked and we used as a pattern. Of course, the verbiage on it we needed to change, and they actually worked with us, and the ad is now running for 8 weeks in North Florida. We hope to see what kind of success we have with it. The ad was developed as a generic Florida Division ad. It doesn't say 1209. It directs people who listen to the ad and are interested in Sons of Confederate Veterans to the Florida Division website and Dixie at flscv.org. So when any inquiries go through the division website, they're funneled back to Rick, and we have a plan where we send them a package email. I've mailed stuff out to individuals that had questions. So as I said, it's a generic radio ad. If it is successful at the for us or Kirby Smith, it will be available. Whether however it turns out, the entire Florida Division will have access to this radio ad. We actually put the ad on the Facebook division website, and it was screened through there. People had input, and it was developed over what, 2 months probably.
Yeah, in fact, Sean, I think you even made a video with it as your soundtrack, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I'm still working on that video though. But yeah.
It's a 30-second ad, but I think it gets the message out. How we're determining whether it's successful or not. Our webmaster has, yeah, Bob Foley, but he has matrix where he looks at the number of hits on our Florida Division website, so we can tell how many people and how many hits. So as the ad runs, we can every week I'm updated with data to see how successful the radio ad is. If we see a lot of hits, the ticks go up on the division website, then we know that we've made a impact with the radio ad. Also with the Florida Division, we've sent out to all the camp commanders about the grant program, that if you have a recruitment idea, present that idea within the next.
You got till October 15th.
October 15th, get your ideas in, and they'll be voted on by the executive board, and the division will pay for half, up to $1,500, to sponsor some of your recruitment efforts. So I suggest your camps get involved with that and submit your plans. See how successful this program will be. Hopefully, everybody will put an emphasis on recruitment. Sean, you good with that?
Yes, sir.
Tonight, we'd like to talk about a couple of things. When I came on as Florida Division Commander, there were several items we needed to just do housekeeping on and clean up. One of the ones we've looked at lately, while the other items we're working on was the division handbook. Seems to be there was some confusion, and there were a couple items needed to be cleaned up in the awards handbook. The awards handbook's online. Take a look at. Tonight, I'd like to talk about one of the awards that I took on to clean up. One of them, this particular ad, is the Corporal Charles Almer Award. Let me give you a little bit of history about Corporal Almer. He was born in 1837, enlisted in Company H, 3rd Florida Infantry, Jefferson Rifles, on July 23rd, 1861 at Monticello. He was appointed second corporal in 1863. He was killed at Missionary Ridge, November 25th, 1863, while standing on a stump waving the regimental flag. He seized the colors when they fell from the hands of the color bearer while under heavy fire, and bore them bravely. After the battle, his body was found close to the front. Almer had fallen on his face in the battle, facing the enemy. Years after the war, General Braxton Bragg remembered Almer's bravery at that critical moment when it was certain death. He advanced the colors and inspired every heart with his incompatible courage, and grasped his hand on the field and said to him, this is what Bragg did. He had grasped his hand on the field and said to him, you are the bravest man I'd ever seen on the field of battle. This award is unique to Florida. Of course, he's a Florida guy. And this is how the handbook reads. As per the Florida Division Handbook, Corporal Charles P. Almer Award, purpose of the award. This is the highest award which can be bestowed upon a member of the Florida Division Sons of Confederate Veterans. The number of awards that will be awarded annually, there may only one may be awarded annually. Only one award will be awarded. Eligibility. Only members of the SCV may receive this medal. Florida Division, of course. Nominees must serve the Florida Division SCV in an outstanding manner for an extended period of time. Current Florida Division staff members are not eligible for this award. No member may be awarded the Armor Award more than once. Selection process. The division commander will notify the division executive council 30 days in advance of the next division reunion that the nominations are being accepted for the Armor Award. Each member of the executive council is permitted to nominate one candidate annually for the Armor. Such nominations may be submitted on the Armor nomination form not later than 14 days in advance of the reunion to the division commander. After the announcement period for receiving nominations is passed, the division commander will review the nominations to ensure that they meet the high standards deserving of this award, and any nominee not meeting those high standards will not be considered. Should the division commander, at his discretion, determine that none of the nominees meet the high standards of this award, no ballot may be prepared and no Armor Award will be made that year. Nominees meeting the necessary criteria will be filed on a ballot for distribution via email to each member of the division executive council. Voting shall be made by secret ballot, which shall be emailed to the Florida division commander for tabulation. The nominee receiving the largest number of votes will be declared the awardee. In the case of a tie, the nominee will place on a tiebreaker ballot, which will be distributed via email to each member of the executive board to be revoted. The nominee will be majority votes will be declared the awardee. The awardee will remain anonymous until the Florida Division Reunion Awards are announced. All right, the form of the medal. All right, here there was some confusion about this medal. It came up because there was a Florida Division member who had been awarded the medal, and there was some confusion, and this is what made me clear this up. The original medal, Sean, do you have what the original medal looked like? Can you put that picture up? Dave,
Yes,
send that to
sir.
you. Yeah, put that up. You have it up?
Putting it up right now.
Okay.
All right, got it up.
Okay. Now, I've tried to trace this history back on this medal. It appears to me, from the information I got, this award was initially first given out to Nelson Wimbush. And that's what the medal looked like. Which, if you look at the medal, it was pretty much a membership medal with anchors hot glued on the back. And I often wonder, why are there anchors on the back of the Armor medal? Because he clearly was an infantryman, not a naval seaman. So, clearing this up, we designed a new Armor medal that will be awarded. Can you bring that medal up, John?
Yes, sir. I got the new one up.
You got the new one up. Okay, that is the design for the new Charles Armor Award. Like I said, this is unique to the Florida Division. The Florida Division, this is the highest award they give away, and no other division gives this award away. And it's named after a Florida veteran. So it's a pretty outstanding medal. It deserved better than anchors behind a membership medal. So that shield, which is taken from a couple of things. The shield medal is taken from an early 1900 Union medal. The flag design somewhat taken from 1900 United Confederate Veterans design, and the graphic art there I did. The back of the medal has the by order of Florida Division, which has the SCV logo and the territorial eagle, Florida territorial symbol on the back, by order of. So that medal was sent, because we're going right to the manufacturer, and all the manufacturer of this stuff comes from overseas. This particular manufacturer, I did not want to use China as the manufacturer, So this particular medal is being made in Taiwan, off the coast of China, but still, I think they have a dislike for
For each other.
for each other. So so anyway, that is the proof of the medal. It will come in a box, awarded box, and on top of the box will be the one of the 2020 reunion logos that says, you know, our history, our heritage. There'll be a design on the top of the box, and that will be given out if we deem that an armor will be given out at the next reunion, state reunion. Now, armor has not been given out for how many years?
Well, there's one given a couple of years ago, but in the last 12 years, there's been 3 awarded. 2 of those were posthumously, and 1 was not.
Okay, so the award hasn't even been given out in recent years. So we want to correct that. So that's some of the things that we're working on. I think that's coming to a head. Hopefully within a month, perhaps we'll have that award, and then we'll have enough made that the next commander will not have to clean up the handbook, nor will he have to redesign medals. Because when I leave, we'll leave medals with him that they can give out for years to come. One of the other awards that we're going to talk about tonight is the Dean Boggs Award. Dean Boggs is actually a Kirby Smith camp member back in the 70s. And he was an outstanding individual. He served both state and national as leadership positions. So Rick, you want to tell them a little bit about that award?
Yeah, to go over the Dean Boggs, the purpose of this award is to the camp for the efforts of its members to defend Southern culture, history, and heritage. Basically, it's for the Division Camp of the Year. The national one is, of course, the McCain Award, but this is for the state. Any camp can win it, and it's unlimited the number of times you can win it. The selection process has been in the past at the discretion of the Florida Division Commander, and the form of the award was a certificate. But the manual also says that it allows the camp to display a battle streamer on its camp colors. And that's one of the things that we wanted to address was who designs these streamers, and so that we can kind of standardize it. Talking with the division commander, we made the decision that we, as the division, will start awarding this streamer along with a certificate, so that everybody you'll know what a battle streamer looks like. This streamer here is an old Dean Boggs Memorial Heritage streamer that actually Calvin made after Kirby Smith won the award one time. So it'll look something like this. We may change it a little bit, but we want to make it so that camps are trying to win this award. And in an effort to make it more fair for everybody, I went back and kind of designed a form that camps can submit for this award, and we made it so that it would be on a point system. Basically, for each member that your camp recruits, you get a point up to I think it's a maximum of 15. Stuff like that, retention. Whether you have enough members, if you're sending members to a division reunion, you get points. If you send somebody to national, you get points. If you contribute to Flags Across Florida, or if you're a Sentinel camp, those are things that give you points. If you have a website or a Facebook page, so that way there we can make it so that camps are growing, camps are being involved in doing things, and based on that, we'll determine who wins the Dean Boggs Award in the future. And so we're going to encourage all of our camps to look into this form. I'm going to send it to all of the camp commanders and adjutants this week, or we'll probably make it next week after the hurricane, so that camps can start looking at what it's going to take to be in the running for this award, and we really hope that people will put in for it.
All right, that's good. We're taking out the gray area. It's not just a matter of, hey, I thought they did a good job, and let's award them this. No, it's actually got a form you got to fill out. Those who participate in the Camp of the Year contest, when you submit your information, you'll recognize some of the awards, so that after it's all over, you can clearly go, okay, this camp won because this is the process that we put in place, and that's the game. Work the game. If you ever try to get the distinguished camp of the year, it doesn't just happen willy nilly. You have to look at what they require, and I'm telling you, there's camps out there in the Florida Division that wants to put in the running for national competition for camp of the year. You really need to start doing that after the reunion.
And you start in August, and so that's why I'm going to go ahead and get this out so that camps have time to catch up, and everybody's going to be behind the same curve this year. But in the future, you're really going to want to look at this if you want this award in August and start checking things off.
Start gearing yourself up. Yeah, a little bit. A couple of things I'd like to say. Shirt I'm wearing, shirt Rick's wearing. I've seen several of the membership wear the Florida Division Strong shirts. That was a successful program. We came up with that. The division did, kind of for the national reunion, so that Florida Division looked as one cohesive unit, which they did. And the shirts actually raised what, $800?
Yeah.
The shirts made $800 that went into the Heritage Defense Fund. And the hats are the same thing. The hat I'm wearing, Rick's wearing, I think Sean's wearing. I'm not looking at it on too. Some of the other guys I've seen. The Florida Division hat, I think we probably had 50 or 60 of those things, and I probably got 4 or 5 left that I haven't mailed out, and it's only because I haven't brought them at the last SCB events. So if you think you want one of these hats, let me know. I always get inquiries. I still get, get emails. Hey, I'd like one of the shirts. We do stuff that's kind of one and done. We move on. We'll probably do something else in the future. The hats and the shirts were requests, so we'll be looking into other items that kind of push the Florida Division, because that's really where our strength is as a whole, is the Florida Division, I believe. All right, Sean, you good? Got any questions, everybody?
Yeah. Let me. One came up to my mind based on that streamer. You guys talked about points for recruitment. I just wanted to clarify it with everybody in chat. That's full memberships, right? Not friends or legionnaires.
Correct.
No, correct.
Correct. No, that's a member of the division, not none of the other categories.
Okay.
In fact, we got categories that we're still cleaning up. I'll put an inquiry out there to how many camps. We would be interested to know, and you maybe send it to Rick an email. How many camps have friends of the SCV? And then how many camps have, I hear him called everything from legionnaires to all different names. I get it. You have people who are involved at your camp level who do not have Confederate ancestors, yet they want to be involved. There has to be a place for those individuals. I mean, we have them too. We just have to get everybody on the same page. it's my understanding that at a national level, that they only recognize Friends of the SCV.
Yes.
And when they are members of the Friends of the SCV, they receive a magazine as part of their membership. I'm not sure how what the national does with their membership rolls, or if they do anything other than put them on the mailing list for a magazine. We're just trying to get everybody on the same page to understand. And we're still going through the book. I think the Friends of the SCV is a good program. Like I said, there have been cases and when people want to be involved and yet they didn't have an ancestor, or it took time to find them an ancestor, and it gave a way for them to participate at a camp level. And certainly, you know, I know maybe more so than some that, you know, participation is a big deal. You don't want to turn any help down that you can get. But we have to get on the same page with everybody on the same page, talk the same language.
Correct. Yep. Yeah,
So
because
if
that
you have a program
yeah,
at your camp level, please send something to Rick and let us know what they're called, whether they're Legionnaires. Of course, Friends of the SCV, we're familiar with that. If you have Friends of the SCV, that's fine too. But if you do, we'd be interested to know what you call them and how you deal with them as far as, you know, do they pay a camp fee to belong as a Legionnaire to your camp? You know, we'd like to know how all this is being organized in the Florida Division.
yeah. At my camp level, we use the Friends of the SCV as a gateway. If they're willing to work with us to do their genealogy, it's a gateway to full membership. The way we use it.
Yeah, and that is one avenue, and that's excellent. And the other avenue is, you know, I've seen Friends of the SCV that their family came as immigrants to the United States, 1900s, 1920s, and yet they are interested in history, especially when we start doing restoration of the cemetery. These, you know, they're more into cemetery restoration than the RSCV, but we're the only game in town in a certain cemetery, and they want to be a part of us and get our newsletter and be a part of the team. And frankly, at the time, some of these individuals work harder or as hard as camp members. So, you know, we just want to make sure that we recognize them too at the division level. We've got a Friends of the SCV putting out a lot of effort in helping your camp be successful.
Correct. Yep. Alrighty. So if nobody else is going to ask us, Calvin, Rick, how is? I know you both got your positions in June to present day. And I know you both have been doing a lot of stuff for us throughout the division. How do you? Fuck. It's coming to my head and it keeps escaping. uh, how do you feel about progress that the whole division has made up to from the reunion to present day?
Well, I can tell you, the last national reunion, uh, you know, it's the first time that and we've been to how many, you know, Chris Bunn, who's commander of 1209 in here tonight, he would know exactly. But I guess me and him probably went to probably 15 or 16 national reunions. And that actually was the first reunion where I saw the Florida division try to sit together, look the same, and actually have a good sized dinner where they're all hanging out at one table as a cohesive unit. So That's a big deal to me, to make sure that if we go forward, it's not just an individual effort, it's a team effort. And the team is the Florida Division Strong, which has been
Yeah, yeah, I
foundation
enjoyed that. Yeah,
great
I
going.
enjoyed that for the forestry tournament. How we all met up at a restaurant. We all sat together.
Yeah, yeah, and that was another thing. We had pretty good attendance at that forest tournament. We took a pretty good sized group, 1209. We had Florida Division showed up in force. So you know, as a division, the Florida Division, we have strengths. Our strengths are individual in the camps. You know, I I look around. I talk to other division uh, commanders, other division uh, representatives, and a lot of people. We all have the same problem. When if you think the Florida Division has unique problems, uh, you're wrong. You know, now I'm not saying we don't have problems that nobody else has got, but generally speaking, the general problems everybody's got. I can tell you this year, which I hope future camps will work on, getting the dues in. This year, we put a hard push on getting the dues in, and I feel that we probably got, it was the first time, the earliest time that we got 100% of the dues in. We had some at the end coming across the finish line at times that we didn't really prefer, but everybody got across the finish line. I'm saying that in that, I'm talking to the Alabama division, and they're still struggling to get their dues in and work with that. And we're past that. So, everybody has the same problems, but they're not coming up with solutions. And we came up with solutions, which is focus on it and keep pushing it until you get it done. I hope
Did
that as a commander and the next commander that getting the dues in isn't an issue for them. That you don't want to be bogged out and spend time trying to get camps coordinated to get their business in when you should be devoting time to picking up, moving forward, taking ground, not bogged out, getting dues in, knowing that you got to do that every year. I understand. Trust me, I've served every position in a camp, and I understand the hurt that can go on with trying to get the dues in the adjutant position. I've served that camp command, trying to get everybody on the page, get all your membership in, get the dues. But I'm going to also tell you, if you got an adjutant in your camp that's not performing, not doing what you want done, if you can't somehow get that adjutant to change his culture or to change his actions, I suggest you change that adjutant and get you somebody in there that wants to do the job. You can't change people, change the people.
Yep.
There when I swore in 1209, and I'd have to check on this, but this is probably 19, 20 years ago. And I swore into the position. I think my first position was website editor, maybe. And I remember holding my hand up and an old judge there swearing me in the position. And when I held my hand up and I was swearing in for that officer's position, he leaned over and whispered in my ear and said, "There are no honorary positions in 1209." And I remember doing that. And as far as I see, there are no honorary positions still in 1209. So if you've got honorary positions in your camp, well, that's just a name, And if you volunteer for a position, please make sure you want that position. Do your best at that position. I get it. It takes certain skills for certain jobs. I get that. But, put effort in it, try. We get points for trying. it'll work. You put an effort, you keep pushing on it, eventually it'll start going your way. You know, your effort's got to be more than your excuses. What you
Uh,
got to say about that?
yeah, with this, with the with the dues and all that, did our division membership go stay the same, or did we lose some?
I'd have to ask Rick on that.
Actually, we ended up gaining just a couple, which I thought was really good. Uh, Once we got all of the sheets in from every camp, that was the other issue that we had was getting in the camp reports. Um, in fact, part of this Dean Boggs Award is your camp report in on time or your dues on time. Those are plus or minus points depending on those. So hopefully that'll help get people involved and turn their stuff in.
Ooh,
And we had a couple of issues that we weren't really aware of. We got kind of snake bit. In the past, individuals have used, they have paid their money electronically. It went to the treasurer, and the treasurer would get a report from, a camp that said, "Hey, I paid for, 25 members." Well, our treasurer would get the payment and deposit the money, and then it's like, okay, he would report to Rick, "Hey, this camp reported paid for 25 members." Well, it didn't come across with what 25 members. So Rick, because I was, I was on his ass about let's get these dues in. He got bogged up into, the back and forth between the camp trying to figure out what 25 members they paid for. That's just part of the learning curve. I don't know how they dealt with it in the past. I can see how that could be a train wreck, but we got past it, and we appreciate the cooperation from camps that get their dues in on time and the ones that work with us to help straighten out problems. We're going to have issues. Any process, we can streamline it, get all the bugs out, but sometimes it'll come off the tracks. The train comes off the tracks. But in the past, I kind of judge men and the process by how fast you get that train back on the track. Because no matter what you do, we're human. Humans going to make problems. That train's going to come off the track. You just got to be good about getting it back on the track.
well, our division chaplain just said thank you, Calvin.
Yeah, and he's doing a good job. He really is. Ron Turner's doing a good job. During, that's one of the things you really count on. We had, individuals pass away. We've had, fathers of individuals pass away, and our camp, our division chaplain's done a great job. I notify him of the individual. He can get in touch with Rick, get the address, get something to recognize that individual very fast, very fast. And that's the kind of response we need on that. He's doing a good job. We plugged and played. We got some good individuals in places that are really doing a good job.
That's good to hear. Yeah, Jeffro Cotton just said thank you too.
Jeff Rowe's another one. He's taking on the Flags Across Florida project. Jeff Rowe, I haven't forgot about you, buddy. I'm going to spin back around. We're going to get that website so that donations can be made to the Florida flag projects. The treasurer, we've had a discussion. I have not forgot about you, buddy. You're in the mix. We just have to have the treasurer set up an account, and I'll talk to the webmaster, and we'll get that done. I have not forgot about you, buddy. I promise.
Cool.
And you can
Sounds
always
like
call. If individuals such as Jeff Rowe, I have forgot about you, but I do not mind you knocking on the door, sending me an email, going, hey, any progress on my concerns? And like I said, I don't mind taking a look at it, and we are. It's moving.
Cool. Sounds like
The
we're
the flag project, and have you had Jeffro on your podcast yet?
yes, sir. I had him a few months ago. Same with Mr. Turner, also.
Okay, well, he came out. Jeffro did a good job. He came out with kind of an SOP on the flags across Florida projects. You know, we have several flag sites in Florida. We have individuals. You know, there's a couple of flag sites that I've heard they brought them to my attention, and people are trying to organize. The only thing that I want to say, and I'm sure Jethro stresses this, you know, we want one. You know, I've been around these flag sites for a while, other states, seen them put them up and all, and you know, and you know, it's more than just putting a stick in the ground with a flag on it. You know, I know it's a lot of work to get to that spot. We're actually, you know, we have Kirby Smith Confederate Park, and we have a flagpole there. You know, and it's a great day when you get finished, you get that pole on the ground, and you raise that first flag. But that commitment is not over with that. You know, some of the big camps, the big flag sites, David King will be one that can tell you, you know, there's a lot of responsibility and commitment that comes with the flag sites. You know, take for instance these storms. You got to have somebody go out there and take the flags down because these storms, you know, not anywhere near the storm that we have coming for us now. But you know, one with high winds, they'll shred one of them flags, and you know those things aren't cheap. So, you know, the commitments from the camps, from the individuals, when you do decide you want to do one of those flag sites, when you do decide you want to put one of those flagpoles in the ground, and it'll be for the right reasons, but you have to understand you've made, your camp, those of your camp, has made a commitment, membership wide, that we're going to support that for eternity. And if you talk to some of these that had flag sites for a long time, they'll tell you what eternity feels like. You know, because there are things that can go wrong with the flag sites. You know, mechanics of, you know, the flag going up and down. You know, the raising money to provide for the flags that they raise up and down. You know, Florida Division, you know, Jim Davis, who's probably one of the best commanders that we ever had, and we've had some good ones. You know, he came up with the Sentinel program for camps to take ownership, to take pride and ownership in those flag sites. With that comes the responsibility of maintaining that flag site. When I say that, you know, it's something, you know, the division, you know, it's the camps, that central camp that provides the support for that flag site to provide support for that flag site. You know, if that flag or that pole needs some maintenance, you know, that Sentinel camp should step in and do what it takes to raise the money and to support the repair of that flag site. That's part of being a Sentinel camp. That's part of the long-term commitment of those flag sites. So we encourage, you know, responsibility and accountability of sites, the flag sites. Sean, you got anything there, bud?
That was pretty much everything I have. Nobody's really asking questions in the chat, so everybody's behaving.
There you go. You know, like I said, we've got some issues in the future that we're going to be working on clearing up. You know, I guess you know, when we look around the national, you know, during times it would seem that when individuals, you know, wanted to join the SCV and called National and said, "Hey, I want to join." The National, depending on their mood or who was running it at the time, which that's changed over the years, who's working and doing things. You know, if individual wanted to join, sure, you can join. They didn't care whether you were from Florida or wherever. They signed you up, and you became a member of the Sons of Confederate Veterans. You know, of course, you had the Confederate ancestor heritage and everything was legit, so they signed you up. Well, they put you in camp, what, 584?
584.
Which is a national camp, like a holding camp. So, you know, the division never knows there was a member from Florida that inquiry. You know, they're sitting in the headquarters camp. They might not even know there's a camp near them unless they really look into it. Also, you know, the 584 camp has got the reputation of individuals that just can't get along, fit in, for whatever reason, get mad, and they'll go to 584. So we're going to look at the membership at the headquarters of 584 and look at those Florida division, those Florida residents in headquarters camp and try to get them back into the Florida division. If they live in Florida and they're a Sons of Confederate Veterans member, they should care enough about the organization to be involved in at least on the roll of the Florida division, so they know what's going on in the Florida division. We're going to look into seeing where they live, and once we try to get them back into the Florida division, you know, say they live in the middle of Florida somewhere. Well, we'll look at them and go, okay, you live in XYZ. There's 3 camps, closest camps to you that are within, you know, say 30 to 40 mile radius. These are the camps. We encourage you to visit those camps, get in touch with somebody from that camp, and you know, and if that's where they want to go, then we're going to try to transfer them as quickly as possible to get them into that camp. We really don't want to have, it would be my goal to not have any Florida residents in headquarters camp. No reason for it. They need to be on a roll in Florida division somewhere in a camp belonging in the state of Florida, not sitting on a roll that don't really, you know, provide support for the Florida division or keep them up to date what's going on in the Sons of Confederate Veterans in the state of Florida.
Cool.
You get that one, Sean? You understand that one?
Yes, sir. Yep. Because I know one guy. I personally approached him multiple times, and he had problems with previous leadership in the division.
Okay.
And I've been talking with him, trying to get him back involved slowly.
Okay. We're going to have a talk with him. We'll have an interaction with him. There'll be somebody. Yeah.
Does anybody in the chat have a question? Well, we have both of them. Remember, keep it clean and polite.
Security perimeter guys got to go outside. Take the phone to the perimeter there, security guy.
Well, Calvin, do you want to show off your van, your submarine, and your cannon?
Dave, you want to roll stuff around while we're here? We'll go over 1209. This is the Bruton artillery. This is one of our artillery pieces. 1209 has 2 artillery pieces. One's in our van back there. This is the newest one. As I understand it, Bruton is having he's buried
in Bainbridge, Georgia, and currently his grave is unmarked. But through the efforts of the division, we do now have a headstone that has his information on it that
Kelly got it.
Kelly and Mark Best got, and that's going to be installed in Bainbridge. And on December 3rd, we will be having a ceremony there in Bainbridge where we're going to take the cannon out there, and I think Georgia's going to have a camp there with cannon. And as far as I know, we've got permission from the city to do a salute, as long as there's not another funeral going on at that time. So,
And Bruton was a Florida artillerist. He worked with Dickinson. They worked together.
he was at the Battle of Gainesville. He also went out to Cedar Key with Dickinson.
Yeah. So that's cannon. Behind me is the mobile flagging van, the MFV. It's, that was a camp project. We went and probably took about a half a year maybe to find one of these older media vans that had the satellite dish in the back. We restored that as camp members. Camp member painted it. We designed the graphics on it. In the back is where the satellite disk and everything, all the comm equipment was on the mast on the back. What we turn that into now is a retractable mast. You take that mast and put on there on top of that, and it will go up to 75 feet. So anywhere
Whoa.
you go, you can put a flag 75 feet in the air, and I think that flag is what, 10 by 8. 10 by 8 flag to go on the van. We worked on the van. The van's got a V10 in it, and it's pretty stout. It's self-contained. It's got a generator on one side because the mast actually is pneumatic. So air pushes the mast up, which on the other side we have a pump compressor, which provides the pressure to send the mast up. Inside there's a little comm area. It's got a desk and all the controls for it. There's an outside speaker system, and then there's the lights on it that you can set splash in, and it's got a big PA system on there. We've taken it out. It'll make it splash anywhere you go. It's pretty nice. That's the Hunley submarine. The Hunley submarine has been in parades every year. The Hunley is the key exhibit at the Battle of Olustee. The Battle of Olustee, 1209 sets a huge Confederate camp up, and the Hunley is one of the prizes at that event. It sits on a 30-foot custom-made trailer, and that was another camp project. It's roughly half the size of the original Hunley submarine. Behind the Hunley submarine is our trailer, which has got the other artillery in it, and the hot air balloon, which is a Confederate observation balloon. Both the Confederates and the Union had balloonists. The Confederates used like a duck canvas for the envelope or the balloon. The envelope is what they call it, and it was tarred in hot air, and it would go up, and they use it as observation to see the surrounding areas. They actually had one of the balloons they put on a boat, and it was tethered. So the balloon would go up in the air, and then they would, as it cooled down, it'd come down, but they'd also had it on a winch where they could roll it back, get it back in. The rest of the storage, like I said, it just goes on and on. in the back. We got a couple of ordnance wagons in here that go out at Old Lusty. That's the limber for the cannons. That's the Bruton artillery. We got a lot of artillery boxes around. It takes a lot of implements for the artillery. The ordnance wagons, we got two of them back there. One of them folds out. We take the Old Lusty and actually has the stuff that we use to raise money at Old Lusty. So, a good, Sean?
Yeah. Now I've been promoting it. How about hearing directly from you about your big event in January?
Okay, in January, we're having the Florida Division is hosting Jason Boshears, the Commander in Chief of the Sons of Confederate Veterans. We put out the form. We've got a great turnout so far. In fact, actually, to be honest with you, we've never had this many people at this period of time. We normally run about 100 at that event. That's pretty much the size of the room. So we're looking at the numbers real close, and Kirby Smith 1209 hasn't really clicked in yet because the flyer just went out in their newsletter, so we'll start receiving those. If we get more than 100, then we have to go into the other room. The event is going to be outstanding. It's always outstanding. It's held at Maggiano's at the town center. The food is outstanding there, and no one's ever gone away hungry. It's a family style thing where they bring 4 or 5 different things. It's a 5-course meal, I think.
Yeah.
And it just keeps coming. And if you try everything and just keep eating, it'll keep coming. It's a great event. Like I said, we look forward to Jason coming. He has several different programs that in his toolbox, and we're still talking to see exactly what program he'll be presenting. Of course, him being the Commander in Chief, it'll be an opportunity for some to ask questions and interact with the Commander in Chief for the event, after the event. So we encourage all Florida members, if they can, you never made a national, you never have an opportunity to talk to the person who's in charge. And Boshears, what I call boots on the ground Commander in Chief. He's always been a guy, like I said, he's boots on the ground. He's come to Florida several times to division reunions just to see and support the Florida division. When he got elected, it was very well deserved. He's a good guy, and I encourage anybody within the surrounding areas, if you have an opportunity, we want to encourage you to come to the Lee Jackson dinner, January 15th. It's on a Sunday at 5 o'clock. And it's an outstanding event, and you will not go away hungry, and you will not be disappointed in the program. It may be some of these individuals from the camps, it may be if you don't go to National Reunion, which this year is in Little Rock. I know that's a long ways away. Probably one of the farthest reunions.
Yeah.
I've attended. Little Rock had one some years back, and it was a good reunion. So if you want to go to a reunion, I know that's a ways, but the reunion didn't disappoint. It was a great thing. Maybe we can talk about the reunion, national reunion, sometime on the podcast, Sean.
Yeah, not a problem, sir.
But for those that are, and I understand it, because the honesty is that the national reunions are getting kind of expensive to attend. They're getting a little bit longer, some of them, depending on who coordinates them, but it can be an expensive endeavor. But if you go with a group of people and you share rooms and stuff, like maybe that's for another time to talk about that. But for those that want to meet the commander in chief, want to ask him for the future, ask him about the future of the SCV, ask him about his plans for the future SCV. He's up there at the headquarters, so he's heavily involved in Elm Springs. He's heavily involved in the museum. This will be a really good opportunity to ask him questions and to have your input in the direction that the SCV is going in the future.
Yeah,
So
you're absolutely correct. Yeah, you're absolutely correct on Jason Boshiers. I mean, he's not afraid to get down and dirty.
no,
But he's also very approachable. I mean,
yeah,
he'll talk to you, talk your ears off.
yeah. He's not a show dog; he's a work dog.
That's right.
And we get along better work dogs instead of show dogs.
Yep.
That's personal, but yeah, I like the work dogs better. I seem to hang out better with the work dogs than the show dogs.
Yep. I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Well,
Bo Shears eats in the same kitchen that we do. I'll just put it that way. He's easy to talk to. You might not get what you want, but at least you'll get an answer and he'll listen to you. So I'm gonna give him his due on that. He's a good guy, and if there is a failure, it ain't because he didn't try his best. And if it's success, he spreads it around. So he's a good guy. We're lucky. If you go to national, which that's another talk, you go to national. There's a lot of people that want to be somebody at the national level, and so I encourage you to send somebody, a representative of your camp, to have your vote and your influence and who the leadership of the Sons of Confederate Veterans will be. Because, if you get somebody in there that is more interested in the position than getting the job done, you'll have 2 years of nothing or 2 years of hard times until you get the next guy. So I'm saying, it's good to be involved at a camp level. It's good to be involved at a state level, and it's certainly good to be involved at a national level. And you have to attend national reunions to understand and see the direction of the organization. And I feel comfortable, the leadership positions now. We got some good people in good positions, and Jason Boshier is one of them.
what kind of help and support are you getting from Army?
That's Jimmy Hill,
Yeah.
Army of
Yeah,
Tennessee.
I'm
I've
just
had
curious.
discussions with Jimmy. I talked to Jimmy in the past. Jimmy's out of Alabama, and he came to our state reunion, and people, kind of jumped on him. I don't know if he's prepared. He had to defend, the museum and this and that, and he probably gets knocked around a lot. But Jimmy Hill's a good guy. I have had questions in the past. He'll pick up the phone when I call, and if I need something or have a question, he's at the museum quite a bit too, because he's involved with the museum, and he's always picked up the phone and answered my question. Or if he doesn't have an answer, he's good about going to get an answer for me. In fact, I could pick up the phone and call him right now. If it wasn't, well, it's not too late in Alabama. He would answer. So, we get from an Army point of view. Jimmy Hill is the guy, and he's a good guy. So that's another good guy in a good position. Like I said, he puts a earnest effort to get results.
That's good
question,
to know.
John. Good question, buddy.
What about damn? I know he's part of our army, but I can't remember his position. That's Carl Jones.
Council.
Carl,
Council.
Yep.
he's a councilman. Carl's another good guy. I got him on the phone. You know, he is Carl. Carl's a good guy. He is a real good guy. And you know, as far as facts and theories and history, causes of the war, you know, if you're having a debate about the war of northern aggression, you could have no better person on your side in that debate than Carl Jones. You know, and he's, you know, he's a bulldog. You know, he chomps down and he don't mind a fight. He don't step away. So, and he, you know, he doesn't lose his shit either. So keeps his head in a fight. He's a good guy.
Good. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have any? Do we have any questions from the crowd that's watching right now? We've been at this for about an hour. Hey, Mr. Pope, how you doing this evening? Hey, Mr. Odell. Feel free to ask questions while we have Calvin and Rick's attention right now.
You know what, Sean? Let me do something I've been meaning to do here. I got an individual here that I need to recognize. If you
Cool.
allow me to do that, is that good for you, Sean?
The show is yours, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, come up here. You got a second? I'd like to present this award to Dave Lott. It's the Meritorious Service Medal from the Sons of Confederate Veterans. I've known Dave, how long? 30, 40 years. And we worked together back in the day. And he's kind of my IT guy. And he's done a great job for us, for a campsite and for me. So we'd like to recognize him that. And here's the Meritorious. And here's your ribbon that goes, the medal that goes with that. Thanks, Dave.
Congratulations, Dave.
Thanks.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
You wasn't expecting that, huh, Dave?
No, he wasn't.
No, he's over there. He's over there. He probably wasn't paying attention. He did his job, so he's off now. He sit over there. He ain't paying no attention to me. You know. Come on. We got the security guys. Let's bring the security guys in. They've been patrolling the perimeter of the Kirby Smith Armory.
Keeping us safe.
Keeping us safe. We got Frank Kello, Fireball, John Ruff.
Go back behind.
Go back behind.
You get behind us.
Here we go.
Yep.
They've been guarding the perimeter while this podcast has been going on. So I appreciate their help. Hopefully, when I go back to the truck, it'll still be there. It is. See, they've assured me the truck is there. They've done an outstanding job.
The truck might be there, but does it have tires?
Yeah. Yeah. True that.
All right, Calvin, Rick, guys, I just want to say thank you for coming on the show tonight. Hopefully, we can get you guys back on in the future.
Maybe a talk on the national reunions when it starts. You know, gets a couple of months for the national reunions. Like I said, yeah. I know. You know, the next one is Hot Springs. Which one after that? South Carolina. So
yeah, it's in Charleston.
Yeah. So and that's, you know, from us. I know that, you know, depending on where you are in Florida, you know, people from other states do not recognize how big Florida is, north to south. They think, you know, east to west. But you know, from us, Charleston's a 4.5 hour drive. You know, we've been to Charleston reunion. It's been a decent reunion, but I don't see why when we get that reunion in Charleston that the Florida division can't concentrate on, let's get a caravan, let's get a huge group, going to that reunion because it's close or closer, other than the one that we held in 2020 in St. Augustine, that the memberships could go to. So, and the price is there. I seen it. They presented them, didn't look too bad. Like I said, if we encourage a group to go, so security can go back.
Security go.
Yeah, perimeter. Go check that truck. Perimeter. Get a good group, maybe going to Charles.
Yeah,
We need
personally,
to have a podcast on national reunions.
Yeah, I had Ronnie on to do a review of this past one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Quick thing about state reunion. We're working on that. We're going back to Trenton. The Florida division is one of the owners of the building in Trenton. We're going back there again. I made a commitment to bring that price down and provide more to the membership when they go. So you're going to get more for less. Go back to Trenton. So I encourage camps to promote that. Every camp needs to be represented at the state reunion. So it'll be a one-day affair, business, and then dismissed at the end. But like I said, we're gonna provide a cheaper monetary expense for the reunion and give you more for it. Is our intention. And we're planning it now. We're starting it now. I can tell you that that the program is being worked on. The Trenton request form is being finalized, and we're going to do a little bit this year. We're going to try to start early. If for those who attended the 2020 reunion, you have an ancestor memorial section as part of the program. The 2020 reunion, we had so many sent in to be listed in that memorial section, we had to have another book to contain them. So we're going to try to make a souvenir book for the state reunion, and we're going to encourage, and it'll be coming out, to have your name and your ancestor's name put in the back of that book. I think there'll be a fee to it, and honestly, the fee goes to print the book. And let me tell you, printing books are expensive. So if everybody gets their ancestor in, you should break even on the book, and I'll provide you with a book. You're not just gonna, as you leave, toss it in the trash can. It'll be something you want to keep. So you'll be seeing that in the near future.
Yeah, I'm planning on going to Arkansas, Charleston, all that. But at Division Union, has anybody thought about doing like a division reunion shirt, T-shirt, or polo shirt, or something like that?
Yeah, we'll come up with some. We'll come up. There'll be opportunities there. I mean, it'll be opportunity one to make a product that you can wear around. Like I said, all us, we wear SCV stuff. The shirts, the hats. And we go places. I go places, and when you wear that stuff, people that have the same concerns that you do, and have the same respect for Confederate heritage as you do, will come up to you and say, I like your shirt, or what is the Sons of Confederate Veterans, or it's that opening conversation that we have. Now, again, 1209, because this year, before this, we put a lot of emphasis on projects, but this year, we're putting emphasis on recruitment. As I understand it, 1209, is the largest camp, but recruitment is important, and we really want to really make a difference this year in recruitment. So one of the steps we did, we made packets. The 1209 camp commander, Chris Bunn, almost single-handedly packed packages. There's big, I think 10 by 13 plastic Ziploc bag, and in that Ziploc bag, there's probably 12 items in there: Confederate veteran, a heritage form, Florida Division pamphlet, the state Civil War history magazine. I mean, it's a whole packet. So we distributed those packets amongst the executive board of 1209. I carry 5 or 6. No, I actually probably got 10 in my truck. And I'm always prepared if I see a battle flag on the front of a truck, or the conversation comes up. It's not, hey, I need to write the web address. No, I've got the packets available. I know I was a guest at a turkey hunter's banquet there, and I gave out packets there that, as I'm speaking, hey, you got a Sons of Confederate Veteran shirt on. What's that about? Hey, that sounds good. Where can I get information? I went to my truck, packets were there, I gave them away. So, we're putting an emphasis on the membership to give away these membership packages when the opportunity comes up. Because, I get it. The radio ads, we're running radio ads now. We're running newspaper ads in North Florida. 1209 is. Like I said, we're putting a media blitz to let the public community know that Sons of Confederate Veterans is a live and well organization in North Florida. But that being said, we all know any camp commander that's been in the business long enough knows that the best tool in the toolbox for recruitment is the membership. Is that individual who either knows somebody, or during that conversation it comes up, hey, you have a Confederate ancestor. That ultimately is the best tool in the toolbox. And we just got to make sure that individual has tools to deliver, when the opportunity knocks. Because opportunity for membership sometimes don't knock twice. You got to take advantage when the opportunity's there. So how you like that, Sean? We're 20 minutes
That's
over.
perfect, man. That's perfect, because I was just
we're talking to outer space now. It's just you and me. I'm sitting on this couch.
now Jim Odell just joined the chat. Bobby Van Zandt just joined the chat. So as far as I can tell, there's people still still with us.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. This from the what I'm seeing in the chat, we had a very good turnout from people from our division, Florida Division OCR. We have Tennessee in the house. We have Texas in the house. Man, we got people throughout the Confederation in the chat tonight.
Well, there's a couple of, like I said, I'd like to take an opportunity to say, I don't have a lot of opportunities to interact up here with the OCR, Order of Confederate Roses, but I can tell you, when I do go to a place, whether it's at national or state reunion, and we cross over and I'm able to meet individuals, especially the women that are involved in the OCR program, their membership, that I found that there are no better individuals, there are no better support for a camp than the Order of Confederate Roses. For those camps that have wives or individuals that are OCR that assist in their camps, they're truly blessed, and they should not take their help or their assistance for granted. You with that one, Sean?
Perfect. Because the women are our backbone. They're the ones that motivate us and keep us charging forward. We got Rex from the Dixie Defenders in the chat. Hey, welcome, Rex. Nobody's asking questions. Everybody's saying hi and thank you, Rick and Calvin. So we've been at this for an hour and a half, just about an hour and a half.
All right.
So thank you both. Dave, I know you're listening, but thank you for your help tonight. Rick, Calvin, thank you for coming on the show tonight. Been a great show.
And don't forget the security guys. We
Yeah,
couldn't do this at the Armory at night without security. Trust me.
yeah. Well, Calvin doesn't know his truck's up on cinder blocks as soon as he walks out the building. But yeah, thank you guys for coming on the show tonight. Letting our membership know who you are and what you're doing for the division. Thank you for your time tonight. If nobody's chiming in that they have questions for you too, so I'm gonna call it a night.
All right, Sean.
With,
Thank you very much for
Thank
the
you, Sean.
opportunity. And like I said, it's an honor to serve the Florida Division, and we look forward to doing great things.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got to push forward and overcome and adapt, especially with the current culture we got going.
You know, we have, like I said, the division is unique in that we hold certain standards. Say we're small in numbers, and when I say that, 1209. And I don't want to make it sound like it probably does that we're blowing the horn on 1209, but even though we're a small division, we have camps that accomplish things that are big deeds. Whether it's the big flag site in Tampa, or the Kirby Smith Confederate Park, or the largest camp membership. We're a small division, but we're big on deeds. So, we certainly could stand up to any division. We have something to be proud of as a division. You have, as a member of the Sons of Confederate Veterans, you can be proud of your camp, you can be proud of your division, and you can be proud of your organization.
Yes, sir. Amen. Amen, sir.
Amen.
All righty. Jim, I pass that along to him. Jim Odell said, thank you for your leadership.
Thank you, Jim.
Gotta thank you. I have no name, but it says thank you coming into YouTube.
All right.
But
there you are. We're gonna shut it down here, all right, buddy?
Yes, sir. That's what I'm trying to do. All right. With that being said, gentlemen, ladies, stay Southern, stay safe. Make sure you communicate with your camp commanders and brigade commanders as the storm passes. Let them know that you're okay and safe so we can report back to our lieutenant commanders and our division commander that's on the show tonight. So stay safe. Be careful. Hope to see you all soon. Alrighty, let's play this. Our next show will be Christian Lee to talk about his Tejano monument. Yes, he's in Texas, but he's a great supporter of the show and the content I provide. All right. Have a good night, gentlemen. Stay Southern.
All right.
My dad told me he always had a kinship to the battle flag. Always growing up, he knew there was something there, but he couldn't put it together. I called my 97-year-old grandmother, and I asked her, do we have any soldiers in the family? I gave her 3 descriptions. Verde, which means green, for modern-day soldier. Blue, azul, or gris, means gray. And she said, mijo, which means my son in Spanish, is gris. It was gray. My great-great-grandfather was named Andres Torres Rodriguez. He was born in Mexico. He was a laborer. And he was in 8th Texas Infantry, and his unit later on got incorporated to the Texas 33rd Cavalry under Santos Benavides, who was the highest Mexican-American Confederate officer. He was a colonel. There was over 13,000 Hispanic soldiers throughout the Confederate States, but out of those 13,000 were 2,500 Tejanos. And it's two words combined. Texas in Spanish is Tejas. Mexican in Spanish, Mexicano. You combine both words, Tejano. They contributed a lot for Southern independence. I think that they deserve respect, honor, and dignity under the Confederate flag that they fought for. There was people of color, Mexican people, and other Hispanics, and other people of color that fought in this war. Everyone's reason was different, but primarily they fought in this war for their independence and to protect their homeland. I joined the SCV because I'm extremely proud of my Confederate heritage. I have Confederate DNA. I just want to ensure that the present generation and future generations know and never forget the contributions of Hispanics in the War of Northern Aggression. I am Richard Luna Garcia, the great-great-grandson of Private Andres Torres Rodriguez, a Tejano Confederate soldier.